about it anyway. A Chicago rapper named, and this is coming from Hip Hop DX, a Chicago rapper named Jonte Adams, who's part of the duo Tilla and Billy Bino, is reporting feeling the repercussions of his alleged gang lifestyle. According to the Associated Press, the 29-year-old Adams was an intended target of a shooting at a local McDonald's drive-thru, but instead, suspects wound up fatally shooting his 7-year-old daughter, Jasmine. Now, in simpler terms, they caught him lacking at a McDonald's drive-thru. Instead of hitting him, they hit his daughter. And the reason why they hit him up in the first place because he had a video of him pissing on his ops grave. For people who don't know, ops, your opposition, people you don't like. There's a video of him pissing and defecating on ops grave. So people saw him and they end up, running in his car with bullets. He got hit, but his daughter ended up dying. So, gentlemen, what are your thoughts about this?
That's fucking tragic, bro.
What do you even say to that? Like,
yeah, I'm with Dion on that one. What do you even say about that? Like, shit. That's a 4-year. Like, that's a child.
Like, it's a
7. She was 7.
Yeah. It's sad. You know what the sad part is, though? That's not the first time I heard a fucked up story like that out of Chicago. Like, there was another one where they took a kid back into the alley and they shot him just because their father was in a gang they didn't like. And it was another one where the baby mom was like taking her kid for a walk and she was in the stroller and 2 dudes walked up and shot the baby in the chest and said, "Tell them we did it." These are true stories. These are not stories I'm not making up. So, in my hindsight, it's just said, "Yo, these dudes are on another." And I'm hearing this out of Chicago. Like, these people are on another level of goonery and savagery and not giving a fuck. And that shit is really scary to me. Like, she had nothing to do with what he was doing, and yet she has to suffer the consequences of her father doing something.
I'm just on the standpoint of, even if you don't like a motherfucker, just for the sake of human motherfucking decency and shit, you just don't goddamn do.
I agree.
Bro, I've been saying it. Some of these people don't got no morals. I've been saying it. I've been saying this for the longest. Some of these people,
like, man, if I don't like a nigga, I'm gonna beat his ass when I see him. But I'm not gonna wish death on nobody like that. I'm not going to vote on nobody damn graveyard and freaking spit and piss and shit on they tombstone and no shit like that. You know, I wouldn't want nobody doing none of that wild shit toward me, man.
Bro, I realized them niggas was different when that dude Tuka died and that his house was like, "Yo, we smoking on that Tuka pack." Or it's like every time when somebody dies out of Chicago, oh, we smoking on that stuff. Like, these niggas, I say this before, these Chicago niggas are different. They don't give a fuck. And I understand there was a story that happened in DC where this gang member, he did a music video at his ops grave and they end up shooting him and killing him. It's this is not, first things first, that's not cool. I don't promote this. And I don't know why people are doing this. Or even saying the whole outspoken pack. To me, that's, now I understand I'm not in the gang life, but even then, that's what's the word I'm looking for? Inhumane. That's very inhumane. It's you really don't give, and from what looks like from these Chicago boys, they really do not give a fuck about life. I don't know if y'all ever seen FBG duck on DJ Vlad. That nigga, I felt like that nigga, if he didn't die the way he did, he would have died on that field and he would have been perfectly happy about that. The way he was just if a nigga, and they said this before, if a nigga come at me, they probably, if they can't find me, they'll come after someone closest dear to them. So, shit like that is just really hard to listen to. So let me ask you this. Do y'all feel because there's a lot of people who's when you hear stories like this, they go, "Where's Black Lives Matter? How come you don't see Black Lives Matter doing marches about stuff like this?" do y'all feel like Black Lives Matter should be involved in stuff like this when it comes to like gang violence or something like that?
I mean, they didn't. I mean, but my thing is, there's always been movements against that. Name a black neighborhood in America where that thing hasn't been happening. Where there hasn't been a neighborhood, watch and making sure people are safe in the community. Name a black city that doesn't have that. You can't.
You can't. And even then, like, because I saw this on the news, because I watched the news. There was community activists. It's just like, dog, we cannot do that. That won't like they would like the way you and Dion was just expressing your anger. They was like that, but like 10 times for like that shit is inhumane and all that other stuff. It's just like that is a child. So why do you think like people? Because I always hear from the conservative side, and especially when they're trying to express their point, it's just like, oh, there's people in Chicago, killing people and all that other stuff. Where's Black Lives Matter then? It's just like,
which is a stupid point.
Okay, see, no, I'm gonna just fucking say it. The whole purpose of Black Lives Matter was supposed to be about standing up against racism, not getting involved in whatever gang related XYZ is going on in whatever city, and then at this point they're just using that to throw shade at Black Lives Matter for whatever reason.
They know what it is. I don't think it's a definition issue. It's very clear what it is. They just don't care. And I don't know why black folks act like, that's not the case. These people don't care.
Look, I've always said this. If you ever throw out that point of, oh, there's people in Chicago dying, what about all that other stuff? I always ask, so what are you doing about that to help the situation out?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. And like I said, this comes mostly from the conservative side. And the answer they always give out is, oh, I'm just putting awareness out to people that this shit happens. It's like, you don't think they fucking know about this? Like, this shit, not only like, even if this shit, not even Chicago, but you don't think this shit happens in their own hood? Like, we're from the DMV area. Like, I already know, like, I used to hear all the time about, like, niggas and, like, how they get shot and people, like, bodies being chopped up and all that other stuff. Like, you don't think we hear, like, the streets will hear it before it even gets to the news. You don't think we know about this? But the thing is, I've always said, what are you going to do to go? And none of y'all going to do not a damn thing. So what's the point of bringing it up? It's like, you could be the change, but you know that you're not going to go into Chicago and try to change things because you know them niggas will shoot you on sight, especially if they don't know who you are. So I usually hate that point because people say that too. It's just like, there's like the same thing with the whole thing about slavery, and they still say, oh, there's still slavery to this day over there in Africa. And I go, so what are you doing about that? He's like, so what are you doing to help out to stop the slavery?
Not doing nothing about the bullshit going on in America. What you doing to help them?
I said, and I tell them that first things first, we're in America. We're talking about American problems. I don't know why you're bringing up Africa anyway. And second of all, are you going to go over there and try to stop them? No, you're not. It's like, no, you're not. It's like, it doesn't justify that slavery. And I think some of them do it to justify that slavery was okay. Or slavery happens. I said, that's not the point. But I don't know. I was, and I did say this, like when Black Lives Matter started, or like before, like it became an organization. I had this optimism that they was going to be like the Black Panthers because the Black Panthers did look out for their neighborhoods and like a lot of things that people have now, like WIC, it started with Black Panthers and all that stuff. I figured Black Lives Matter would start like that, but as you can see, it's not really like that. But as Father said, there are activism and there are activists and there are people in their cities that's trying to, resolve this community. Hell, like Nipsey, they say Nipsey was trying to like stop gang violence in his own hood and all that other stuff. So, like, there are always people. I know there's always people on the ground, but you just don't really know about them, and some of y'all really don't care to know them. So, any last words before we move on to our final topic?
Conservatives. You remember that time I kept showing you them screenshots of them conservatives I was trying me on Twitter?
Yeah.
Whew. Man.